Hey guys, so yesterday I didn't quite get a vlog up, but that's okay. I said I would try my best and I did, but I worked all day and I was exhausted, and so there was nothing. I actually was going to try and put a vlog up on the boys, what I got the boys for their stocking stuffers, and then I quickly realized that was a horrible idea because they do know how to get on YouTube, and if they saw it then that would be bad. So I was like, you know what, whatever, I'm exhausted, that's that. So today, I thought I would take you through and show you how I make my custom photo ornaments. They're very simple. You just need a few things, and I do them every year with my kids. I put the pictures on them with Santa, and I put the year and everything. So I'm going to show you how to make those, and I'm actually going to do last year's because I haven't actually got the boys' photos taken with Santa this year yet. So yeah, if you're interested, stay tuned. And I guess I'll show you how to do it now. Alright, so the first thing you're going to need is a piece of wood. This is a 1.5 by 1.5 square piece of wood. I have not been able to find them any bigger here. You may have better luck than I do, but that's what I'm working with. It's scrap wood. It didn't cost me anything except for what I used it in my last project. So you can most definitely use that. I've also made them, and I have a bunch of wood already cut here, with just a square piece of wood. I can't remember what I bought this for, but yeah, those work just as well. Any kind of scrap wood. You could even cut a log. I've used logs. My favorite is the squares. So that's what I do. So the first thing that I do is find where I put my measuring tape. There's measuring tape. It's exactly 1.5 wide. So when I cut it, to make it a perfect square, I'm gonna measure it 1.5 inches, and I'm gonna mark it, and I'm going to cut it. The next thing you're going to want to do is take a piece of sandpaper and get rid of all these little pieces here, just to make it nice and smooth. It's nice to make this part that you cut smooth as well, because that's where the images are going to go, and they're going to stick a lot better if this is smooth. Nice and smooth. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is open up Photoshop. If you don't have Photoshop, there's lots of free options out there, like PicMonkey. Just pick whatever works best for you. Make sure when you're creating a new image to make it in letter size. This prints true to size, so the images aren't too big for your block. You're also going to want to create another image that is 1.3 inches in size. This will act as your template for all your patterns and photos. Here I'm just taking my photo and rotating it because I took the picture sideways. Once I got that figured out, I selected the tool selection and made sure to select the entire image. I then went to the top, hit Edit, and selected Copy Merged. I then went back to my template and pasted the image. As you can see, the picture was way too big, so I had to adjust it to fit within the 1x3 sized square. I then used the selection tool again, copied that image, and went over to my 8.5 by 11 sized paper and pasted it over there. So I already had a lot of Christmas patterns that I've already used and made in the correct 1.3 inch size. So I used that for my ornament. Now, if you don't have those, you can create more patterns by using the exact same process and just copying and pasting them. Once you have all your images, you're ready to print. Clearly, I made one too many here. I don't know where my brain was today, but I have one too many patterns, but that's okay. So here are my images. They are 1 and 1.5, just less than 1.5, 1.3. So now I'm gonna go cut them out. All right, so this is my setup, and you absolutely don't have to use this. A pair of scissors will work just as well, or one of those machines that you can slice evenly. But this is what I have, and I find it comes out the cleanest. So I have a ruler, I have an old scrap piece of wood, cutting board would work fine too. I have my cutting knife here. I think I paid like $8 at this for Walmart. And then what I do is I line it up with the ruler, and the ruler is just kind of a template or a guide for me. And so I'll line it up on the edge of these images, and I'll make it so I can see a little bit of the image just so I know I'm not getting white space. And then I'll push pressure on the ruler and cut it down here. Okay, so I have the little squares cut out. And then usually I reuse this piece of paper, and when I glue them, I make sure to get glue on the corners and the edges the most, because when it sticks down to your block of wood, you need it to be really secure when you spray paint it, so that the wet spray paint that's the clear coat, the top coat, doesn't go under this, because it will change the color of the white. So I use a ton of glue, and a glue stick works best. I've used Mod Podge, I've used you know, kind of the liquid glue, and it just doesn't work as well, so I stick with that. So the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to spray paint it, and I just have some clear satin. And this part is kind of a process because you're going to have to do lots of coats. I do 3 coats on each side, and I let them dry about 15 minutes in between. And if you put too much on at a time, it'll soak through and change the color. So this one kind of takes a little bit of a technique, and it does take a while because you got to let it dry in between. The last 2 things I need is some twine. You could use ribbon or whatever you have. I bought this kit. It's a picture hanging kit from the dollar store, and I use these, the little hooks. With the screw. That's what I use. So that's how I make my custom photo ornaments. If you guys like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and let me know in the comments below.